Time for a quick concert review. I went last night for the second time to go and see a brilliant Dire Straits tribute band called Dire Straits. I went to see these guys for the first time last year, and it was purely by chance that I realised the show was on. I go to a local cinema in Stafford, and near the car park, near the pay point, there was this big billboard advertisement for a Dire Straits tribute band called Dire Straits, with the kind of brothers in arms motif. I'll show up there with the advertisement, and me and my dad went along, not quite knowing what to expect, because there are tribute bands and there are tribute bands. But the first time last year, we had a really good time. We saw these guys were going back on tour this year, back in Stafford again. So we went last night for the 2026 tour. And last year's performance was really good. Last night's performance I thought, and my dad both thought, and there's a couple of other comments I've seen on Facebook. And the general consensus is that the performance was brilliant. It was a really good night that I had. I don't listen to the music of Dire Straits all that often, actually, but that's not to say that I really, really like them. Really like Dire Straits music. The concert basically is this, right? It's this, like an Alchemy set, but actually seeing it in the flesh. And with a lot of these older bands these days, unfortunately, Mark Knopfler's no longer touring. And with other bands, I go and see the Australian Pink Floyd. That's almost a yearly outing now. I really enjoy seeing those. And I would put Dire Straits in that company with the Australian Pink Floyd show. So they are in very, very good company. But these guys have only got a Facebook page. I don't think they're active on any other social media. And the only way I got to see them was through chance. So I thought that I would be able possibly to use my limited audience to try and promote these guys. All I would say, if you're in the UK, unfortunately I don't think they perform elsewhere in the world. They are a UK only group. But looking at the rest this year for 2026 on their Facebook page, you can find them on Facebook under Dire Straits. I'll put a link to their Facebook page in the comments. But as it stands, there's about 28 other events taking place I can see on Facebook for the rest of the year. So hopefully they are playing somewhere near you. If you are into Dire Straits in whatever capacity, it is a really, really good night out. They play what you'd expect. They play the hits, but they also played last night a couple of the deeper cuts. So they played Wild West End from the debut album. They played Single-Handed Sailor from Communique. But overall, it is a really, really, really good night, really good to see, and it's great to see great musicians as well. It is similar to the kind of music of Pink Floyd. Discussing with my dad at the concert last night that, I don't think that Dire Straits necessarily have the popularity or concert-going audience that the likes of Pink Floyd have got, which I often think is a little bit strange. Maybe is that a longevity thing, that the Straits were only really around for a 6-7 year period and then came back with the On Every Street album, and then Mark Knopfler's gone and done his own thing afterwards, but certainly haven't got the same pull as a group like Pink Floyd. But nevertheless, if you are into the music of these guys, the tickets were fairly inexpensive. It cost us around £30 each, which when you look at a night out these days, if you're going for a 2-course meal out, you're going to spend that and probably more. So very reasonable night out. At Stafford, the parking was ideal. And these guys do perform predominantly, I think, in theatres. So if you've got a theatre near you, I'll leave a link to the Facebook page and the events page so you can see if these guys are playing anywhere near you. And if they're not, leave them a like and follow them on Facebook. And that's how I found about this year's event. I saw it on Facebook. They were playing again at the Gatehouse, and straight away we snapped up our tickets. They've said they should be coming back next year to the Stafford Gatehouse Theatre, so I'll be there again, but this really just to promote the music of Dire Straits, the great music of Dire Straits, and the musicianship, the great performance, the overall great night out that I had seeing Dire Straits last night. Hopefully that's a bit of a promotion for all that stuff, but I had a great time. I kind of reneged on doing these concert reviews for a lot of stuff I've gone and seen in the last few years, which is a bit of a shame because it's difficult to capture the enjoyment that you had of something when you revisit it later on rather than just after the event. So I thought I'd jump on quickly and do a concert review of these guys, Dire Straits. I could do with doing more Dire Straits content in the future. I've got this box set which I've featured briefly on the channel some years ago, the studio album 78 and 91. That doesn't feature the Alchemy live album, so I've got that separately, and I've also got the On The Night set as well. But this generally, I think, is a little bit better. But as I say, they play everything that you would expect. It's a fairly narrow catalogue to choose from, so I don't think you're going to be upset that they've missed anything out in particular. They were on for nearly 2 hours, I want to say. They had an interval. I'll probably put some pictures of the gig over this video. What was really nice, the guys had really good interplay. You can see the relationships are there with this 5 and then 6 piece when the saxophonist comes on and plays. So really good interplay between these guys, great moves around the stage, great vibe there, and just an overall really good night out. And Dire Straits have always got a good mixture of real good sort of anthems and the slower stuff as well, which allows the musicians to really perform, and some really good, as you would expect on some of the live albums, some really good noodling, jamming in between the songs. So overall, a really good night out. If you are a Dire Straits fan in any capacity, if these guys are playing anywhere near you in a near radius, I'd recommend you certainly go and see them. I'll see you next time.